So you like the Joker? Heck, I like the Joker. He ranks as one of my favorite villains across all of the DC universes. And speaking of alternate universes, DC loves to do this thing called an Elseworld, where there are alternate universes and versions of the characters that we know and love. They use this to its maximum when portraying the Joker in film and television. The idea is that if they change the voice actor or actor out every time that they want you to know it's a different universe, then you will be fully aware that this is a different universe and different version of the Joker, and you won't mix them up and assume that it's all one straight timeline. So we're going to have a look at all of the television and movie versions because these are the versions that people know the best, not the comic book versions, and we'll do a separate list for the comic book versions of the Joker. Cesar Romero was the first individual to get the honor of playing the Joker. Now, the original Batman live-action TV show was known for its campy nature and humor, and it would take The Dark Knight years to wash off that humorous appearance and attitude. The Joker was no different, as he was played to be more of a clown than ever while still being a villain. Cesar also refused to shave off his mustache, and they would smear the white face paint over it, giving his upper lip a rather odd appearance. When I was a child, I remember seeing it and thinking, wow, the Joker looks a bit weird. Next up was Batman with Robin the Boy Wonder in 1968, which brought us Larry Storch as the Joker. He gave him a typical villainy kind of voice with a constant laughter throughout the normal lines. He also got to portray the Joker in the crossover with the new Scooby-Doo movies. In 1977, Lenny Wenrib voiced over the Joker in The New Adventures of Batman, and now this show looked very close to the Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder series, so Lenny probably just tried to copy Larry's style because they're very close to each other. But in 1986, we got another individual in the form of Frank Welker giving the voice of the Joker in the show Superpowers Team Galactic Heroes. But eventually, we got to one of the more iconic Joker portrayals, with Jack Nicholson playing the Joker in the 1989 movie. He had a more creepy demeanor about him and a laugh that would stay with the character for years to come. He did such an amazing job in this role that to this day some people still consider him to be their Joker, and it will never be beaten. Another fun fact is the origin of the Joker displayed in this movie is entirely created for the movie, and it actually got Tim Burton supposedly banned from various Comic-Cons. The movie is so popular that a lot of people actually think Joe Chill, the man that killed Batman's parents, is also the Joker. In the comics, this isn't true. It's only true in the movie timeline. Next on the list is Mark Hamill, who portrayed the voice of the character throughout the DC animated universe and many DC animated movies. If you were too young in the 80s like I was and didn't see Jack Nicholson as your Joker, well, for us, it was Mark Hamill that became our iconic Joker. Evil and twisted, but in a fun cartoon way, this Joker's laugh will haunt your dreams to this day. While Mark Hamill announced that he was going to retire in 2011, the fact is that he came back recently for the movie The Killing Joke. And he's now basically stated that he'll play the Joker as long as he enjoys the role that the Joker has been given. So because of this, he's going to be playing the Joker in the new cartoon, Justice League Action. A fun side note is that in the failed live-action TV show Birds of Prey, they had Mark Hamill voice over the Joker once again. And he also did the Joker's voice in one of the Robot Chicken DC specials, but in the other one, he was voiced over by Giovanni Ribisi. In 2004, we got another Batman show titled The Batman, and to ensure that you wouldn't confuse it with the timeline for the DC animated universe, they brought in a new Joker voice actor, Kevin Michael Richardson. This is the one and only time that the Joker was actually voiced over by an African-American gentleman. But he wasn't new to voice acting. This is the guy who also voiced over Trigon in Teen Titans and Cleveland Brown Jr. in The Cleveland Show. The deeper voice definitely added a new dimension to the character with a new and twisted laugh. But once I found out that he also voiced over Cleveland Brown Jr., I can't get the idea out of my head that the Joker is just what Cleveland Brown Jr. becomes in the future and that Cleveland messed up his son. I know it's like a weird, crazy theory, but think about it. It could totally work. In that show, Cleveland really messes with his son. In 2008, we had 3 different versions of the Joker, so I'll start off with the one that most people recognize as their Joker, Heath Ledger. For many people, this is the best version of the Joker. Heath Ledger embodies the very idea of a dark and twisted Joker, and he even won an Academy Award for his portrayal of the character, making him the only individual to portray the Joker and get an Academy Award for it. This version is so popular that we still see artwork and portrayals of him to this day, and I'm pretty sure that this is Heath Ledger's most memorable role with just how long it's being honored. He fully embodied the character to the point that after his death, there was even speculation it was because that he couldn't get out of the Joker's mindset. While these are just rumors and hearsay with no actual evidence, it's creepy to think that this is actually a possibility. In that same year, we had Steve Blum voice over the Lego Batman version of the Joker. With the insanity of the Joker toned down just a little bit for the childish market, Steve Blum still did a great job. When you listen to him though, it sounds like he was trying to get close to Mark Hamill's version. And I remember when I was trying to play this game thinking, did they get Mark Hamill? But don't worry, he still managed to put his own spin on the iconic character. If you're unsure of who Steve Blum is, he also voiced over Lex Luthor, Wolverine, and Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Also in that same year, we got a classic version of the Joker reinvented for the modern age of cartoons. Jeff Bennett voiced over the Joker in The Brave and the Bold, and it was an attempt to bring the Joker back to his 1960s roots. This is because The Brave and the Bold was intended to be campier than most of the Batman cartoons, and due to this, they felt that they should model the Joker after his 1960s version so that they would all line up. So basically, they modeled this cartoon after Cesar Romero. Not one that I personally enjoyed, but a lot of people do have it as one of their favorite versions of the Joker. In the movie Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, DC rewrote the script to take out its links to the DC animated universe. Because of this, they wanted new voice actors, and they needed a Joker that wasn't Mark Hamill. This led to hiring James Patrick Stewart in the 2010 movie. Fun side note, while DC didn't want him to be the Joker again after this movie, they did have him play Steve Trevor in the Flashpoint Paradox. And here's a weird one. Apparently there's a movie titled The Joker's Playhouse, which is a Fisher-Price original animation made for the DC Super Friends line that I didn't even know existed, voiced over by John Casey. In 2011, Joe Dimaggio stepped into the role to be the Joker in Under the Red Hood. He has played countless roles, but you probably know him best as Bender from Futurama. Regardless, he did a great job giving his own unique take on the character. It was deeper and darker than normal, and the laugh had more of an evil cackle to it. He also got to voice over some of the Lego Batman Joker roles. In the Young Justice show that came out in the same year, we got a different take on the Joker once again. This time it was Brent Spiner voicing him over. And I swear, I couldn't tell it was him until I looked up who voiced over the Joker in Young Justice. And the moment that I read that it was Brent Spiner, I couldn't get the voice of Data from Star Trek out of my head every time I heard the Joker's voice. He gave the Joker a more calm demeanor than he was normally portrayed throughout the show, but he wasn't a pivotal character as Young Justice focused on its own villains, even though he was there and just as creepy as ever. In 2012, Warner Brothers wanted to continue the trend of ensuring that you wouldn't mix up each portrayal of the Joker, and in the movie The Dark Knight Returns, they had Michael Emerson play the role. Michael Emerson, for me, is most memorable from his role in Lost, but you might remember him from the movie franchise Saw. Now, I wasn't going to go over the games because there are a few games and each has their own voice actors as well, but I did want to mention that in the Arkham games, it was mostly Mark Hamill voicing over the Joker. That was until 2013's Arkham Origins, in which they had Troy Baker come in to do the role. When asked in an interview what got him started in voice work, he mentioned that it was the 1992 Batman animated series and Mark Hamill's role as the Joker, so taking over the reins must have been an honor for him. Troy Baker is also the Joker in the Batman movie Assault on Arkham. Also in 2013, there was another Lego Batman Joker, and this time it was an individual named Christopher Corey Smith. And that brings us to 2016, and as of right now, Jared Leto is our new Joker. It's a completely different take on the character, and I can't comment on the performance as no one has actually seen the movie as of the writing of this script. But I do know from rumors that just like Heath Ledger, he decided to become a full Joker and live the idea of being the Joker, which supposedly made work difficult for his co-stars because he would act like Joker on and off the set, including performing weird and twisted pranks on his co-stars to the point where none of them wanted to talk to him. I don't know how true that is, but that's the rumors we've been hearing. He has also stated that he feels Heath Ledger is the best Joker. And lastly, I want to mention 2017's Lego Batman movie has Zach Galifianakis voicing over the Joker, and that's just gonna be interesting. Now, I tried my best to cover every Joker that was portrayed in the big and small screen, but there may be an obscure old portrayal from some of those old cartoons. Let me know in the comments down below if that's the case, and also let me know who your favorite portrayal of the Joker is. For me, Mark Hamill will never be topped, but that's just my opinion. I'm Benny for Comicstorian. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian and Instagram at Comicstorian, and I'll see you guys next time right here.